I feel like yelling. Yell at your face, rip you to pieces. No. I was just like to Jed. Basically everything that I would say to Jed, I'm going to say to you. But I did kind of let Jed know, like, I would prefer if conversations are a little bit more one-on-one. I'm going to tell you why I chose the vote that I did, just so that you're clear. I don't think that I have to explain myself to you, but I am going to give you that respect on why I made the choice that I did. It's the exact same thing that I told Jed. With Kiefer and Latoya, both of those situations sucked for me. They sucked for me personally, and they sucked for me on a game level. The reason why I leaned towards Latoya, it wasn't necessarily because of outside people wanting me to do this. It was because Latoya told me that she would not campaign. She said she wouldn't campaign against Kiefer. I urged her to campaign for herself, and she never did. The fact that she either felt that safe where she didn't have to is a little alarming for me, because I don't know why you feel that safe when everybody else feels a little certain way. And it's honestly like, I can't assume that you want to be here if you're not going to try and, but it was like very difficult for me to do. It was a very hard decision. I did lie to you the day of the vote. That's the only lie that I've said. And I said that to you because I felt like if I told you the truth, it would have traveled. That's just me being honest. I don't know if I could have been honest with you in that moment, that it wouldn't have exploded. That's me assuming your reaction. But that's why I said I'm voting Kiefer. I knew at that time that I was voting out Latoya. But I didn't feel like if I told you in that moment, it would have been good for where I sit in this house, which is very much on the outside. And I told Jed, like, everybody's like, there's this big divide in the house. The house is split in two. I'm telling you right now, there are people on both sides that I do not trust. And I don't know where I fit in that. So that could be viewed as me being like a flip-flopper or going to power. I'm not going to power. I'm trying to find people that I can trust. And with all of the shade that's been going around, I honestly don't know. And I didn't know if I was truthful with you, what you would have done with that information. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, like, obviously, like I was honestly, like, upset.
That's
frustrated fair. Because, like...
I knew I was going to talk to you afterwards. No matter who won HOH, I was going to talk to you afterwards. But I didn't want to be like, hey, come talk to me right now. It's just not my style. Like, there's lots of time in this game. I knew that you would be upset that I did, because I did lie to your face. Mm-hmm. That's a true thing.
Yeah, and... Yeah, like, if I'm being real, yeah, I was upset about that. And it just... It was frustrating because, like, we didn't speak. It didn't seem like anybody was willing to kind of show their cards on which way they were voting in that vote at the end of the week. And that was a little bit frustrating because, like, even the week before, I feel like there was a similar situation and Roe ended up being saved.
Right.
And in this situation, Latoya ended up going home. Right. And I was really close with Latoya. Yeah. And I feel like the situations played out similarly, but it's like everybody kind of flipped on Latoya, which I didn't really fully understand. Right. So it's good that you explained it to me. But
that's my reasoning. I don't know what other people's reasoning are. Mm-hmm. That's my reason.
Which is fine. What I mean?
And like, you have to know, like, either one of them leaving was bad for me personally and bad for my game.
And I agree.
But the fact that she wouldn't give me a reason, you don't have to campaign against Kiefer. You do not have to campaign against Kiefer. I wouldn't do the same thing. Like, if I was up with like Tina, I would not campaign against Tina, but I would tell somebody why I was good for them, and she couldn't give me that. Mm-hmm. Not only could she not give it to me, she told me flat out that she wouldn't give it to me. So that kind of puts me in a position where, like, I don't know where to move with that. And if, like, I'm just like asking you, like, if I would have told you on eviction when you asked me who I was voting, if I told you the truth, what would you have done with that information?
There's really nothing I could have done, because the reality is I would have made assumptions that if you were voting that way, there's probably a majority of you voting that way. And I would have known there was nothing I could do besides tell Latoya that, look, you may not be staying.
And I couldn't even, do you know how badly I wanted to tell Latoya? but the fact, like, is this house going to explode, and how is that going to, like, what's the backlash going to look like?
The reality is, like, I didn't think there would be any real consequences at that moment, because the reality is that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Whether we're going to ask the questions after or before, I don't think we really had time to get to the bottom of the who, the whats, and the wheres,
We
and the
saw
whens
the week before. The week before was insane.
It was, right? And
I was just trying to avoid that.
in reality, the same thing kind of happened. It just didn't happen as dramatically, but the same thing happened.
Yeah.
I was led to believe that somebody was going home, even though I didn't really believe it.
Yeah.
But I was still led to believe that, and everybody was telling me one thing, and people were lying to my face.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating, obviously, because it's like, why? If you
Do you want to know why?
Yeah,
Or are
well,
you just like an out?
I actually want to know why. Like, why lie to me? Because it's like,
Because everybody thought that you guys were tight.
even still,
Yeah.
it's like, if
You have to see like how like that power trio looks on the outside though.
I understand. It's not like I'm
know?
saying I don't understand, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like we didn't really have the numbers to save her. So if that's what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
I don't get why everybody's being so dishonest about it. But like, listen, this is what the house wants. End of story.
Yeah.
But to be blindsided for no real apparent reason was hurtful. It was just kind of like, really?
Yeah.
You guys have the numbers. If that's what you guys were doing,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Right? It was frustrating. And then like now this week we have a new HOH, and who I'm friends with.
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden I feel like people want to start asking me, oh, like what do I think and this and that.
Yeah.
And it's like that's also frustrating now because it's
For
like,
sure,
oh,
'cause it's all
things have
bullshit.
changed.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
You want to know who's gonna go up, what's happening,
Yeah. I feel you on that.
and expecting me to show that same respect that I was asking for last week.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So for me, that was a little bit frustrating. Do I hold you responsible? Am I mad at you? Like, no, but I was
Yeah.
like, was I disappointed? Yeah.
The line.
I
I'm not
was.
mad, I'm just disappointed.
I was, like, and I am. Like, that's the reality, right?
And that's cool. You're allowed to feel how you feel. I don't think you know what it's like to like view this game or play this game when you're totally on the outside. And when you feel expendable at all costs. And when literally every single person in this house is lying to you. And I'm not even gonna throw people under the bus with it, because I'm not into that he said, she said bullshit. I'm gonna be real with you. If it shoots me in the foot, it shoots me in the foot. But if like the information that is constantly coming when you're an outsider and how none of it matches, it's very hard to decipher like, yeah, the house is split in two. There's a lot of people I don't trust in a house that's split in two.
And I get that. And the one thing about me I'll say is, like, I'm real. Like, there's no, like, I'm not a fake person. Like, I don't fake things. I don't lie. Like, obviously there's twists and spins on things that are being put, but it's like, I'm not out here blatantly lying to people. That's just really not how I am. I'm not that kind of person. And I think people know clearly where I stand in this house. What side
I know where you
stand.
stand with two people. I don't know where you stand with everyone else.
Because I also don't know where other people stand with me. And what frustrates me is that when people are wishy-washy with me, I don't know where they stand, so how could I stand with them?
Yep.
And that's the reality. And it's like, like the last conversation we had, I said, I'm interested in working with you.
Yeah.
I really am.
And can I just say, you had that conversation with me in front of 5 people.
We had that conversation alone in the room.
When?
When you and I were talking.
Okay, that doesn't mean that I am open to working with you, but then when I'm sitting in Expedia, when you and Jed are talking about the POV and other people filter in, and now we have to have big, serious game conversations with people that I haven't had no game conversations with, you have to understand the position that puts me in. I'm going to smile and say, sure, whatever, I'm just going to nod and agree. I cannot show my cards when all of the bullshit that I have heard, where it's coming from, where it's going, you have to understand that.
And I do now.
I'm not opposed to working with you, but I still don't really know. I know, like, visibly what I would assume is that, you know, Jed and Beth are your 3. That is your 3 that you're super tight with. That is what I am going to assume. I have no idea where your head is with anybody else in the house. No idea. You seem great with everyone.
The thing is like, in that sense, like, it's clear where I stand. But to me, it's not clear where other people stand. And it's like, in terms of you and I know we had a conversation about potentially working together, but I don't even know where that stands.
Yeah.
Right? What I also know is that if we're being real, like, we're not really a target. As much as you want to say you're an outsider, no one's really looking at you right now. If I'm being, to my knowledge.
And that's good to hear because everybody keeps saying my name to me.
Of course.
This is what I mean. Like people are trying to like almost like use like people like me and Tina
as a number.
Yeah, well, and like to pivot. So like if you could honestly see the amount of shade that gets like thrown at us and what people are saying and the position that we're in, and when it comes down to a vote between Kiefer and Latoya, or guess what? Do you know who I was closest with in the house? Kiefer and Latoya. Both of those two people. I would have felt like shit saying either one.
It was
of
a
their
no-win.
names.
It was a no-win situation.
It's a no-win for me.
I know.
And that could have been set up intentionally. I don't know. You know?
Mm-hmm. It was a no-win situation.
For me, it was 1000%. And I will, like, as much as, like, I love Latoya, I am still happy with my decision. It's not even because Kiefer won. Kiefer told me that he wanted to be here. I had a conversation with him. Are you giving up? Do you want to be here? And he said yes. And Latoya didn't give me anything. She just said she wouldn't speak. So what am I, like, when you're put in a position with two people that you actually care, love, and respect in this house, which avenue am I supposed to go with? But then do I just tell everybody where my vote is and then everybody start like going crazy? Like, I don't know.
No, I get that.
I don't know what it would, I honestly didn't know what your reaction would have been. That's why I didn't tell you. I didn't know what your reaction would have been if I said that I was saying Latoya. I didn't know if it would create a big shitstorm. And now I have like everybody, like I did not know how you would have received that. So in that moment, I did tell you what I thought you wanted to hear. I for sure did that.
Did you decide last minute, or was it in your mind from a while that like Latoya probably would go?
No, I struggled with it all week, the decision of it. It did get like finalized that day. I felt like I might have been leaning more towards Latoya, but obviously if all of the votes were the other way, I would have done that. But I thought about it all week. To say that I was just always going to say Kiefer, no, that's a lie. When I had 5 people in here being like, are you going with the target? I just said, yeah, I'm going with the target because I don't know who I can speak to in this house because of the way that things have been traveling. Honestly, like for this week, like I feel like I have a great personal relationship with Kiefer. I don't think I'm on his radar. I'm just going to play it very low. I need to see more people show their cards. And I need to see what happens with the next HOH if I'm good this week. I'm obviously like I would go for it. I already told Jed it's very easy for me to say your 2 names because mine have been said back. That doesn't necessarily mean that's actually what I would do. But it's easy for me to say right now with the split of the house.
Because Tera, like, if I'm being real, like, it just doesn't, I don't get the vibe you want to work with us. Or even me.
I feel like what I want to say to you, I just feel like I can't.
Why?
Because I feel like I honestly, like, I would be open to working with you, absolutely. I don't know if I can share my real thoughts with you.
Why?
I think it's obvious.
It's not.
If I say something to you about somebody that it looks like you are very visibly close to, Beth.
What about Beth?
I have no idea where her head is, and I'm hearing so much sketchy things about her.
Oh.
Yeah, can you give us a minute? Sorry, team. I don't feel these things personally with what she said to me, but she said that you and Jed knew each other. She pulled out Latoya's name.
You heard these things personally?
This is what I'm telling you. I have not heard these things personally, but this is what is filtering. So when now I'm in a situation where it's you, Jed, and Beth, and you're all staring at me, and I don't have enough established with Beth to filter out if this is bullshit or not, what am I supposed to do? I'm not picking a side, I'm looking for people. You might have a better relationship with Beth where you can say, yeah, that's all bullshit. Guess what? I don't. I'm not saying I can't build with her, but I don't really know what to do with that. And then to say on the other side of the house, there's other people on the other side of the house that I don't trust their words too. But in my position, like if you were in my position and you're an outsider, what would you do? I don't want to just cling to a group and be on the bottom of that group if I can't trust everybody in it. And that's where I feel with both sides.
If I was in your position, what would I do?
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're asking me.
Yeah.
Well, like, to me, it appears that it's hard to say because, like, if you stay an outsider, in theory, you're not committed to a side. And no one's really, if two groups are going at each other,
Yeah.
you're kind of standing back and watching.
But that also poses a big target because people will be like, they could
Someone could
flip-flop
catch
it.
on. Someone could be like, you know what?
Or no, they would just assume that I'm a flip-flopper and that I rent power, which actually isn't the case. Like,
Right? But it's like, the problem is like, it's getting to a
and
point.
can I trust that I just said Beth's name or are you going to tell her?
No.
Like, I just, like, I don't, like, even just saying that, like, I'm like, and it's not anything against, it's not. I just have not built a strong enough relationship to see if what I've been hearing about her is true or false.
And that's fair.
And there is probably 4 people in the house that I feel that way about.
The issue is that it's hard when you haven't heard things out of people's mouth themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to decipher whether or not it's
Totally.
true. So it sounds like the deeper rooted issue between you and Beth is the lack of relationship that you have with her.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it comes down to,
Yeah.
right? In terms of how I feel about Beth, like I'm good with Beth. Like
Yeah.
I have no reason not to trust her.
Yeah.
There's nothing that she's done where I feel like
Did you and Jed know each other before?
No.
Is this just like a bold-faced lie? Did it come from her?
I don't know if she said it. It's not to mind. I heard that was a rumor. I never heard that came from Beth. Do Jed and I know each other? No, never. Have we seen each other? And have we realized that we've seen each other before? Yes, but we didn't know each other. We weren't friends.
Okay.
But like we've definitely seen each other before. But it doesn't mean we know each other at all.
Yeah.
Imagine you and I saw each other and put it together that we've seen each other before.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the situation is. I don't know Jed from anywhere. Right? We both played basketball, so of course we've crossed paths. But no, we don't know each other. It's simply not true.
Yeah.
Right? But that's a great rumor to start to make us seem even stronger.
Yeah.
Get rid of these guys. They know each other. They're friends from outside. No, it's not even true.
How would you feel if that did come from her, though?
I would be pretty upset.
How did you feel when you heard that she was the one who originally pitched Latoya?
I was upset.
Yeah.
Right? The question is, do I believe that?
Yeah. Well, Beth admitted it.
She said that if she were that person, if she were on the other side, she would want Latoya to go home. I would have agreed. I said it too. I said the same thing Beth said. It's not anything that was a surprise to me. Like,
Okay.
if I was looking, if I got outside my body and was being completely objective, who would I have sent home last week? Latoya.
Yeah.
100%. Obviously, I didn't want her to go home, but that's the reality, which made more sense. Like, she had issues with Kyle and Roe. Apparently, Austin and Braden and other people were feeling emotional about things she had said. Everybody had their reasons as to why they thought Latoya should go. So, if I was being objective, it's like, yeah, it made sense. Did I like it? No. Did I not want her to go home? I didn't.
Yeah.
But like I like Keith too, so it was like there really wasn't a win there,
Yeah, there really wasn't.
right? I just felt betrayed in the sense that why couldn't people just be honest and say we don't want her here, even though like that,
Yeah.
right? So it's like how can I trust any of those people
Fair.
who looked at me in my face and lied?
Yeah, fair.
Has Beth looked at me in my face and lied to my knowledge? Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Do I hear things? Yes, but it's like I don't know. I kind of know where she stands.
Yeah. And
there's
that's fair.
And there's people I don't know where they stand.
Fair. I don't know where.
You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know where. I know where like one person stands in this house fully. That's Tina. I honestly don't know where everybody else fully is.
Really?
That's that's me being 100 with you.
Because I see people standing together. And it would surprise me that we don't know where they stand. I feel like
Why
they're-
might she? But
it
if
seems like there's
Latoya and Kiefer were on both your side,
who's both on our side?
if Latoya and Kiefer are both on your side, because you guys were super happy when Kiefer won anyway,
Well,
You guys
Kiefer's
have
my.
been, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, if
I wouldn't
Latoya-
say we're on her side, but like
well, you guys have been like celebrating
friends.
hard.
we're happy.
Are
for
you worried that you're going on the block?
Am I worried?
Yeah,
I mean, no.
exactly. So like,
Are you?
I would say no, but I don't know.
You
I would-
really think you would go on the?
I don't think so, but like I also know that Keith has to play a game that's good for him, right? Like,
But why on earth would you be bad for Keith's game?
yeah, I don't think that I'm bad for Keith's game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the reality. I don't think you're a target, and the way your game has been laid out this far is that it seems like there are people on one side and people on the other, and you're not really on one.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced you want to be on one.
Honestly, like, I don't know.
Because it's like,
It's hard, like when a house splits and then you're forced to choose. I'm sorry, I would like to choose people that I have their back.
it sucks that in life sometimes we have to choose who our people are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but like, why can't I choose individuals that I feel really good with?
you can.
That's what I'm saying.
You can. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, I've offered that to you to say, like, can we work together?
Yeah, we had like one quick conversation. You guys didn't bring anything else to me other than the Expedia room and you talking to me right before the vote. You have to say that that's the truth. You haven't spoken any game to me since then.
But I've come to you.
Yeah.
You haven't come
I think
to
we have a great personal relationship, for sure.
you know what bothers me sometimes? Like when I come to people with something and they never come back to me.
Yeah.
And it makes it feel like, okay. And we said we would talk this week, but now you're also saying that you want to wait till next week to see
I'm
more.
talking to you right now. I pulled Jed aside. I was going to pull you aside anyway.
And you did say that.
And like basically what I was going to pull you aside to say is why I made the choice that I did. It's not that I think that I owe it to you. It's because I respect you and I'll tell you exactly why. I made my vote for me. I'm not going to throw other people under the bus. I'm not down with this he said, she said, whatever. It's giving me migraines. That's why I'm darting. Because it's been a lot. But it's like, yeah, the next HOH will be like huge. How do I know which side when they're so conflicting? They're so conflicting. They don't match up at all.
I can't.
I know.
I can't advise you on which side to choose,
Yeah.
or if you should even choose at all.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that, like, I do want to work with you, and I guess it's really up to you if that's what you want to do.
I am definitely open to working with you. I would appreciate more one-on-one conversations because at least for me, like, you know, like I didn't even want to say Beth's name to you because it's not even necessarily like Beth's a huge target to me, but I don't feel comfortable in these group settings when I hear how much has traveled around. And for me, I like one-on-one more because I know that if Beth says something to me, it came from you. Bottom line. That's the only card that I have to play is my individual conversations with people. What I say to them, where it goes. That is the only way that I will be able to tell who's lying to me. That's it.
Which is fair, right? I'm not gonna come to you with this he said, she said.
Yeah.
I'm really not. Like,
It's just not the game that I want to play. Some people are going to, that's a great strategy for them. If I make it to the end, I want to play a game that I feel good about. Everybody's allowed to play whatever game they want to play. For me, blatant lies about people, I won't do.
And me neither.
No.
I'm a straight shooter. I hope you know
Yeah.
that. I hope you see that.
I do believe that.
I'm just worried about.
I do like the way that Jed looks loyal. The only thing, my only issue with you guys is like, your loyalty is so blatantly obvious that is a massive target. That is a massive target. I don't want to like hurt your feelings by saying this. You guys are probably the reason Latoya went home, for real. And like that's hard because like I know how much you guys loved her.
And I felt that way.
You know, like.
But
So.
but sometimes like. There's no right or wrong way to play this game.
No, there's
and
not.
What I'll say
There
to,
really
what
isn't.
I'll say to you is that like when my people are my people,
Yeah.
and like I'll leave this game for my people.
Yeah. It's just like hard to know. I'm like, am I your people? Because you seem like a lot of people's people.
I'm not a lot of people's people. Like you also look good with everybody to me
Yeah.
too. Like, I see you good with lots of people.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're your people.
Yeah, that's true.
But when I say someone is one of my people, I protect my people.
Yeah.
That's just, I've been a team player my whole life.
Yeah.
You win as a team, you lose as a team.
Yeah.
If somebody has to go home, somebody has to go home.
Yeah.
And Latoya was willing to go home. And it is what it is.
Was she willing to go home?
Yeah, she was. Like, she didn't want to, but it's like she knew it was a possibility. It just happened. We were caught in the tail end of a loss. You don't win HOH and none of your people win, you're in problems. That's just reality of the game. I'm worried for you in the sense that if you don't choose a side,
that could create a target.
There could be
sure.
an HOH that just be like, you know what, throw Tera up, and then you end up going.
1000%.
But when you do choose a side, you have your numbers, and you have your people.
Yeah.
And
I know that that's putting a target on me. I know that that's like not like.
And that's my worry for you. Were you ever a target of mine? I can't think in my wildest dreams right now.
Yeah.
Why I would ever go for you.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I worry that someone else will.
Yeah.
Just because.
For sure.
It would be easy if you're not on the side.
Yeah.
And that worries me.
I believe that.
Right? I really want.
I don't put that out of like the realm of possibility. Like I know like that I'm like not in the best position, but it's it's not the worst situation, but it's also not the greatest. It's hard to play on the outside. It's hard when you don't feel like you're like fully in. Like I feel like I am a little bit here and there, but again, it's like I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough to know where.
When you don't like instantly mesh, right? Like you guys had like something where it was like an instant mesh.
Well, it looks like you and Tina have a really good relationship.
Tina's the only person that I honestly really trust in this game. And like I think people know, like even if somebody put at me and Tina, there is no way in hell that I would campaign against her. The conversations that I have with Tina are between me and Tina, but I would 1000% campaign for myself. You know, like if it was in that situation. But to be honest, she's probably the only person that I trust. And like we're just trying to like filter out all of the BS that comes to us. And it's a lot of people actually saying our name. Everybody says that you guys say our name. Everybody says that you guys say our name.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm hearing I've said the most outrageous things.
Yeah.
But it's like, it frustrates me because those are just like, can you even picture me saying some of the things that I'm like, the things I just wouldn't say. Like I have there's been no reason why I would have to go for you.
Yeah.
Right? The only issue, I didn't even really have an issue with you. It sounded like you and Jed had something you had to figure out at one point.
And like
it had nothing to even do with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so there was no reason why I would ever say your name. Mm-hmm. Right? The reality is like you haven't done anything to me which would make you a target.
Yeah.
My concern just remains that because it looks like you're not picking a side that you just could become one.
Yeah.
And I would hate to see that because I know in your gut, you know who you want to work with. I think you just gotta make that move. Mm-hmm. Right? Because one thing I'll tell you about Jed and I, if we say we're loyal to you, we are.
Yeah. But can you understand how like me coming in like late, like you're loyal to me, but I would probably be the easiest choice to be sacrificed. There were things with yesterday, and this is just, we'll see if this leaves the conversation, where it was like Kiefer was just a sacrificial lamb to you guys. That's how it was perceived. That's how it was perceived by me. That makes me scared. That if I am not viewed as stronger than the other one, we will send this one packing so we keep this stronger one. Where would I fall on that totem pole? And that is just me being completely honest.
I think in that situation, like there's more than what meets the eye about what happened. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's as simple as labeling it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, the reality comes down to whenever two of your people on your block, it's always a no-win situation. Or two people that you're friends with, it's always a no-win situation.
Yeah.
It was not as simple as we're okay with Keith going home because Keith's my guy. I didn't want to see Keith go home. But It was a no-win situation, like I said.
So can I ask, why were you so more inclined to get out Keith than Latoya?
I wasn't really inclined to get one out over the other.
You weren't?
I wasn't. I was just under the impression that one thing was happening over the other.
Right.
Right? And I think it just appeared to people that Toya, Jed, and I were really close.
Yeah.
Right? So we were just going to vote with the house. That's the reality. We just were.
Like if I told you I was saying Latoya, you would have said her name?
If you told me you were saying Latoya, I would have
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known where the house was voting either way. It would have just had what you said.
Yeah.
Right? So there would have been a bunch of other people lying anyways.
Yeah.
Right? I want unanimous vote regardless. Because I knew in that situation, we didn't have the votes.
Yeah.
We didn't. Mm-hmm. Right? We did not have the votes. But we were lied to.
Yeah.
Right? I just wanted to do what the house wanted to do because last week there was a bunch of nonsense where
Everything about last week
it was
so
right.
sketch.
Everybody
And
wanted.
I feel like I was like maybe giving you and Jed enough feelers on why you should back out to kind of show you a little bit of my cards.
Well, why
But
did,
I don't think it was enough.
I wasn't
And
clear.
there was like another thing, again, I will know if this travels. Beth was hiding her vote on that. Beth has lied to my face about hiding her vote on that. And I know that it was true that she was going to hide her vote. That's a red flag for me. She lied right to my face. If I didn't know the truth, I would have believed it. That's a red flag. When people started talking about disguising their votes, Josh was better for my game than Ro, to be honest. Josh was better for my game. You think Josh was going to put me up? I was the only person in the house that was nice to Josh. The disguising of the votes, how messy it got, and this is why when I'm in a room of 5, and one of your 5 I know has lied right to my face without blinking, and if I didn't know for sure about that, I would have believed her. And now this puts me in a very vulnerable position that I'm even telling you this. I shouldn't even be telling you this. This could be sewering me next week. But when you're saying, why are you not picking a side? If I catch somebody in a lie right to my face, it's very hard to pick that side. And I could be honestly shooting myself in the foot. But if you're wondering where my reservations are at, they're not with you and Jed. Everything that you guys have said to me so far has lined up. I don't think that you lied to me at all. And if you had to say my name, if you continue to say my name, I actually don't even... You can say my name all you want. I don't think that I'm your target.
You're not, and I don't say your name.
Yeah. But even if you did, like I honestly, I do trust that.
So my question is, you win HOH. Who do you put up?
I honestly have no idea. I don't even know what's going to happen with this week. I don't know who's going home this week.
Do you put up me or Jed?
Honestly, no. Would I tell people that I would be putting you 2 up? Yeah. Would I actually do that? No, that's actually not good for my game. But that's what I will tell people, that if I win HOH, I'm putting up Ty and Jed. But until I see what happens with this week, what more conspires, until I see who even goes home, I can't give you exact names of where I'm going right now because I could have one from one side and one from the other side.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean? Where I am right now. But I'm also in a position where I honestly, you could totally screw me over with this conversation. And that would be fair to do. But I'm trying to build trust with you. Because I did say what I thought you wanted to hear about the Kiefer thing. So I will give you a little bit of truth. Because I did lie to your face in that situation.
I appreciate that. I really do.
And, now I'm going to, are you going to run and tell this to Beth? And I'm not even saying that Beth is on my, radar where she would be a target. But that she could easily lie to me when she really didn't have a reason to. She could have been like, yeah, that was sketch. I didn't need to say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously it's a little alarming. It's not I'm like, oh.
I get that. I do.
But that doesn't necessarily mean gone in for Beth. I'm just
No,
in a
you're saying-
position where I'm like,
You don't know where her head's at, and you don't necessarily trust her. Understandable.
there's a lot of people where I don't really know where their head's at.
I feel the same. But what I will say is I do know where some people stand,
Yeah.
which allow me to assume where their head's at.
Yeah. And that's fair.
You know?
Yeah.
And that was like my thing with you. I do know where you stand,
Yeah.
but I don't know where your head's at. Are you looking in my direction?
Yeah. No,
Right, 'cause
honestly,
I'm definitely not looking in yours.
no. That is true. And one thing that I did say to Jed, because like I refuse to throw people under the bus, that's not my thing. But I will, and I said this to Jed, you can fact check it with him. Vic wasn't the only reason why that thing happened. I think she's getting unnecessary heat. I don't need to throw other people under the bus, but I also know that Vic doesn't deserve that. And that's me just being real. That was a little olive branch to him. That is true. Like that,
So you're saying it wasn't all orchestrated by Vic?
no. Is anything ever all orchestrated by one person? Never is.
So was Vic in the room in this meeting that happened yesterday?
Oh yeah, like there, it was like, was it like maybe like finalized together? But to say that one person just came into a room and dictated to everybody what we should do for them, you can't believe that that's true.
But she was there
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah. In the room, yeah. But it wasn't.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you know what I mean? Like
in putting everybody's stories together, it sounds like it was a group decision.
Everybody had their own reasons for why they said Latoya's names, and honestly, everybody's reasons were different. And that's a real thing.
Fair enough.
It's a real thing.
It's just a couple things that surprised me and bothered me. It was just the fact that why were we left out the conversation, and then secondly,
I can't speak for other people. For mine, I didn't know how you would react.
and then
I don't know why other people wouldn't tell you, but for me, I didn't know how you would take that information.
and then secondly, I was like, so you guys only figured this out that morning or that day? That
No,
also
I think
surprised me.
I think if people say that it wasn't discussed or even entertained, you can decide what you want with that. I'm telling you right now, I thought about it all week. I looked at both sides all week. You can take that however you would like to take it. I can only speak for me. And that's all that I will do.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to speak for anyone else.
Yeah.
Or do I need you to point out fingers? 'Cause
No,
it's like,
that's not even.
'cause I'm not trying to hold someone responsible.
No.
I'm just more so,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah. I'm
You
just
know what I
saying, like,
mean?
for her to take all the shade of that, she doesn't deserve that.
I agree.
And I think you know that. Like,
I would agree with you.
you know, I think that Vic is she's a dope chick in my books. Like, if anybody thinks that I'm going to throw her under the bus, that's not something that I would do. Because I'm not going to play that type of game. I can only speak from like what I know, what I'm perceived, and that's it. And honestly, like this week, I wanted to talk to you and Jed. I had a little bit of a conversation with Beth earlier. I'm honestly just gonna lay super low and see what Kiefer decides is best for his game. See what happens, and I will respect Kiefer because I respected Kiefer before he became HOH. I will respect the decision that he makes in this HOH because I already had that relationship. You know, people could view me as like you're like flip-flop into power. I already had a great relationship with Kiefer. Keeping Kiefer was good for my game. That's why I kept him. Could he still potentially? Like, maybe. I don't think so. But I'm going to respect his choice. I'm going to respect him as a player. I'm going to respect him as a friend. He just went from, he needed to win. Kiefer needed to win. He would have been in a very tight position if he didn't.
Yeah, that's a great story on his part.
Yeah, he needed it. I'm happy for him.
So am I.
Yeah.
So am I. I really am.
And he does. I do think he deserves to be here.
I agree.
He deserves to be here. And he let me know how much it would mean to him. That's what it came down to. And Frig, man, Latoya's name is not grayed out on that OLG screen.
It's not?
No. Not yet, anyway. We can go check it again, but it was not today.
Curious to see that.
If Latoya came back, I would just say I wouldn't be mad at it.
You called her to the diary room this morning.
I heard that.